I got a public announcement to make. If Call of Duty don't lower the size of their gangs by the next time Black Ops 6 come out, I'm gonna be mad. I'm not buying the game. Cause look, I'm trying to download Black Ops 3 on PC. Custom zombies. I'm gonna be talking about a zombie YouTuber, so why don't I download custom zombies? The thing is 568.3 gigabytes altogether. Why? So I'm downloading Black Ops 3 to play custom zombies. Do you see that download? What in the world? Like, why is that? I don't even have the DLC on this account. I don't even have the DLC on PC. I only got it on PlayStation. So just like, what is going on? Anyways, it's your boy T. Today we're going to be talking about Moist Critical, Peguinz0, one of my favorite YouTubers. I don't really watch him all the time. I'm not going to lie. I watch him every so often nowadays, but I like him. I think he a chill dude. I think he's pretty cool and everything like that. The other day he had a debate with Sneako, and it was during this whole Chris Tyson thing and trans rights and everything like that, right? So, you know, there's been a pretty big divisive talk of kids being able to transition and everything like that. And look, I'm just saying, point blank period, it's not okay for kids to transition. Kids should not be transitioning. Now, it's one thing to learn about it. It's one thing if you think you're trans to learn about it, all the problems that can happen, the good and the bad. Know everything that can happen with being trans. That's fine. No one learning everything that happened being trans, that's cool. But not actually going through with it until you are a 18-year-old or 19, 20. That's cool with me. If you want to do that, that's fine. At the end of the day, I can't tell you what to do. So whatever happens, bad or good, that's on you, right? You were an adult at that point. But Peguinz, the way he worded it that kids can should transition when they're young. Now, of course, there are kids who do transition when they're young. Some doctor, even though they're not following the rules, allows the child to transition. It's not cool. I don't have a problem with you being trans. I don't have a problem with you being gay and all that stuff, right? But my problem is you got to do it at the right ages. You got to do your research. Make sure you know everything you're going to do, everything you need to know before you go into it. Because you don't want to have no regrets if you go into it and then you find out, you know what, I don't like it. Because there are many experiences. There are many experiences that you can find. There's many examples you can find of people not enjoying what happened after they transition. I'm not saying every person go through it, but there are also a couple of people who have went through a transition and they don't like it. There's a lot of things when it comes to quality of life that is just ruined because they went through it. So Peguinz said children should be able to transition, but Sneako was also on some weird stuff because he says children should have the ability to be able to get married to a 22-year-old, 21-year-old. And when he say children, you mean like 15, 16, 17. Look, in the West, we don't be doing it. Now, I know in other countries, they kind of cool with that because, I mean, it is what it is. That's a state culture. That's your culture. It's weird. It's weird to us because, you know, we live in the West. But, you know, do you at the end of the day. But in the West, we're just going to specifically talk about the West. America, Canada, and everything like that. This is not cool. It's not a cool thing because you can easily emotionally manipulate a child into certain things, into doing certain things, and a child only knows so much. A person who is young, 16, 15, only knows so much compared to a person who is 22, just got out of college or about to graduate college or still going through college some type of way. They only know so much. So it's not cool for a child to be getting married to a 20-something-year-old. I think that's a pretty good take. I think everybody can agree with that. But now, since Peguinz said this, a lot more people is joining Sneako's side, which if we're just having this conversation and these are just hypothetical situations, I guess Sneako's make more sense. Because at the end of the day, your whole life necessarily won't be ruined if you got married when you was 15 or 16. And the reason I say that, if you transition, once you snip it off, that's it. It's done. It's gone for. You ain't got your PP number. But you get married, I mean, what, like, it ain't that bad. It ain't that big of a deal compared to that. Either way, they both wrong. But if we said one of the less evils, it'll probably be the one that Sneako said. I'll give you that one. But a lot of people are agreeing more with Sneako instead of just saying, hey, I mean, they both wrong. And they are just dogging on Peguinz and Charlie having this opinion. Now, even my friend had his own opinion, say, hey, you know, that's kind of weird that Peguinz would have that opinion. Now, I'm not too sure if he actually has that opinion or he was just caught off guard because he was just hypothetical situations, as he said. Even then, if you're having a hypothetical conversation on stream in front of a whole bunch of people, and people already know like the beef and the lore behind you and Sneako, and you know what type of person Sneako is, he's probably trying to bait you into something to make you sound stupid. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to completely dog on Peguinz for having that opinion, but at the same time, you could have thought about it before you said something.
and I'll play some clips so you know what I'm talking about. And the thing on top of that, you already knew this was going to be clipped and put on Twitter, and people are going to bash you, as people been bashing Peguinz anyway. As you see these comments of people just saying certain things about him. And another thing too, Peguinz is not a debater. He's not a debating type of person, so he went against Sneako. Now, if you find somebody who knows a little bit more about a certain subject and have Sneako against them, Sneako would have lost. If you had something like Destiny or anybody else like that who actually knows stuff they're talking about, unlike Peguinz, and I'm not saying this in a mean way, he just necessarily does not know what he's talking about. If you found somebody that's equal on Sneako level, or not even equal, somebody who was above Sneako and a person who actually debates about things, that person would have won. But it was Peguinz, and he usually talks about things that he feels. He talks about his feeling. He ain't doing education. He ain't looking up and looking into these things. You're just going over how you feel as a person, what you think about these certain things. So that's another thing too.
Do you believe that somebody can go through hormone therapy? Can they change their gender if they're a child?
I think that's totally fine as long as everyone is consenting, as you agree with.
Okay, so as long as everyone...
If your parents are okay with it and you are okay with it, I think that's totally a familial decision to make, yeah.
Okay, so a child can cut their penis off and take hormone blockers and change their biology forever, but they can't get married?
Well, that's a decision that now extends beyond the family, because now you're bringing in a different party. So if you have someone that's your age coming in saying, I want to marry that child, I don't think that can happen under any circumstance.
So,
no.
But it's still a personal decision. You're still deciding.
Because there's
take the other party out of the equation. It's a personal decision. If I'm 16 and I personally want to marry this girl, she's beautiful. She's 21 years old. Her family wants to do it. My family wants to do it. You're saying I can't do that. We're both consenting. I'm ready to go. I'm physically mature, but I'm not allowed to marry because Moy says that woman's a pedophile. But if then the next day I leave it, I'm depressed, I want to cut my penis off, I can go right into the clinic, snip it off, and start taking HRT like Chris Tyson. That's a society that makes sense to you?
It is. I believe everyone has I believe everyone has the right to do with their body what they want to.
Both of them had a bad opinion, but Sneako's making more sense. I'd rather a child get married than a child get their pee-pee slipped off. It makes sense. I'll agree more with Sneako. But even then, both their opinions are wrong. Two things can be wrong, okay? Two things can be wrong. But if we talking about hypothetically, I would rather what Sneako says. I'm not gonna lie to you. And then Peguinz tried to fix the situation after he realized that maybe this was a hypothetical thing. Now he could be trying to save face. It's possible. And I'm just gonna give him the benefit of the doubt. I don't know how he thinking. I don't know what he thinking about. But I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt that he was thinking hypothetically. I'll just give him that.
And now I give a perspective on something that immediately gets misconstrued. And I do recognize a lot of it's my fault. I assumed that Sneako was talking in hyperbole about a 9-year-old getting their dick cut off, because I didn't have the assumption that anyone thought that is how transitioning works. There is, under no circumstances, any legality behind a kid saying, I want to change genders, and then immediately going in and getting their dick cut off. That doesn't happen. I thought he was just talking in hyperbole. Obviously, no one says that's good. That's not at all what I was fucking saying. I thought he was talking about the overall point of a child transitioning, which is years-long process. And you can't even get that fucking surgery legally until you are 18.
And look, we've all had bad takes before. It ain't nothing new. People have bad takes. I don't think that Charlie gonna always have the best point or the best take each and every time. I don't go to Charlie because I want some sound, informational, real educational take. I go to Charlie because I like hearing his take. I just like hearing his thought process on the things. I like just hearing about what's going on. That's what I go to Charlie for. I don't need him to be on the level of Sneako or Destiny when it comes to topics. I don't need him to have some overarching, extreme point of view on something. That's not what I go to Charlie for. I just go for him for content. I find him funny. I think he's pretty chill. That's what I like him for. I will say this though, a lot of opinions have changed about Charlie over the years. A lot of people used to like him a lot, but now people don't find him as interesting as he used to be. I don't know why. I mean, I personally have the opinion that he's pretty cool. He's kind of the same person he's been this whole time anyway, but hey, to each his own. We don't like him, you don't like him. With that also being said, apparently Charlie is going to be quitting YouTube because some people just don't know how to read and can't see. There was a post. It says, hey everyone, effective immediately, Charlie has made the decision to leave both the official podcast and Red Thread. He wants to go on an indefinite hiatus, scale back his time spent on the internet. We obviously wish him the best, for everyone to respect his decision, and for all to know that the show will always be open for him to drop by and talk shop should we wish to return. The official podcast, Red Thread and Criminally Stupid, are not going anywhere in light of this announcement. Just because he says he's going to stop making videos with them, making podcasts with them, does not mean he's going to stop making videos in general. If you go on YouTube, which I don't know why people read it like he's just running away from the whole thing. If you go on YouTube and go to his channel, literally a video 6 hours ago when he was just playing some weird clicking game. So like, he's not going nowhere. He's just going on a hiatus from a podcast and stuff like that. But I'm pretty sure he's still gonna be on YouTube. It would have been weird if he was just stopping YouTube altogether, because he's been on YouTube for such a long time and I'm used to him uploading every day. But he's not going anywhere. He's just slowing back on what he be consuming on the internet all the time. When you be on the internet all the time, it's not good for you. It really not. So yeah. Anyway, it's been your boy T. If you like the video, if you could like, comment, subscribe. Just helps me push out my videos to other individuals. And yeah, just want to talk about this topic. Anyway, it's been your boy T. And yeah, bye. I just thought about this as I was like finishing editing this everything. This is probably like his way of saying, yeah, I spend too much time on the internet. Now that's why my opinion was so stupid. That's probably what he tried to say without just saying, hey, I had a bad take. I'm gonna take it like that too. Maybe he's admitting, man, maybe I spend too much time on the internet and I need to take a break and I gotta reevaluate some things, because I'm arguing with Sneako and Sneako had a better opinion than me. Maybe that's what it is. But yeah, that's all I want to talk about, like I said before. And yeah, it's funny. We had a video where we weren't talking about a pedophile. That's a good thing. That's great. But anyway, hope you have a good day. Bye.